If you've been following me for a while, you know I talk about credit a lot, but I realized I haven't really broken down what credit is and why it's important. So today in this video, we are going to get into it. Hey, Lindsay here with Mind Money Balance. I'm a financial therapist that talks about all things related to getting your mind and money in balance. So today we're going to be talking about credit. What is a credit score? Why is it important? How is that score calculated and how can I find it? Your credit score is a 3-digit number that ranges from 300 to 850 that tells lenders whether or not you are a safe person to lend money to. You should really be aiming for a credit score 700 or higher. Even though 850 is perfect, once you get to that 740 and higher range, it's basically all the same. You really don't want to be below 600 because the likelihood of you being approved for things is really, really low. So again, aim for something higher. You want to be in that 700 range at least. 740 and higher is even better. It doesn't matter if you don't want a credit card. The reality is a credit score helps with many, many facets of your financial life. It impacts things like your car insurance rates. It impacts things like loans that are coming your way. It impacts whether or not you could be approved for a mortgage eventually. And some employers now pull your credit score, especially if you are doing anything in the financial world. You need to make sure that you have your credit score checked. It can also be used for things like landladies, checking your credit score to see whether or not you would be a good tenant. So even if you're not a credit cards person, it doesn't matter. You want to make sure that you have a good credit score. How does your credit score get calculated? There are so many myths out there about how your credit score gets calculated, so I'm gonna break it down for you. There are a few things that go into that 3-digit score. The two biggest things are your on-time payment history and your credit utilization or your credit usage. Each of those accounts for 30% of that credit score. So on-time payments makes a lot of sense. If you're making your payments on time, that's good, that helps. The other one is a little bit trickier. It's about your utilization. What that means is you want to be utilizing 30% or less of your available credit in order to have a good credit score. Let's say you have a credit card with a limit of $1,000. You want to not have more than $300 outstanding on that credit card. So that's 30% or less. If you're charging $900, $1,000 out of that $1,000 limit, your credit score will go down. So you want to look at that utilization. That's why people who are in the travel hacking game or the credit card hacking game talk about their scores going up once they start applying for these cards, because they have more and more credit extended to them, but they're not spending more. So they go from having a $1,000 limit all the way up to a $50,000, $70,000, $100,000 limit, but they're still charging very little on that. It makes that utilization ratio much better. The length of your credit history accounts for 15% of that credit score, and then the last two are each worth 10% of your credit score, and that is new credit and types of credit. So new credit is what it sounds like, what types of credit you have applied for and have gotten approved for. And types of credit, that means like your cable and internet and cell phone, those things are often reported to the credit bureaus. So that is a type of credit. Another type of credit are things like your credit cards. Another type of credit are things like your student loans and your car loans. So that's what they mean by different types of credit. That accounts for 10% of it. So really the bulk of it is you want to make sure you pay your stuff on time and don't overcharge yourself, since that accounts for the bulk of getting a good credit score. And finally, how do you find that credit score? Most credit card companies now will offer you your credit score for free. If not, you can always check out sites like Credit Karma or Credit Sesame. I am not sponsored by either of them, but you can let me know if you want to sponsor me. Both of them are basically the same thing, where they pull up your credit score and tell you kind of what is going into that credit score. So no excuses. You should be able to find your credit score really, really quickly and really, really easily. So that's the basics on credit. I hope you found that helpful, and I will see you over in the next video. Don't forget to click on that subscribe button. See ya! Your credit card. Bleh.